Good morning, everybody. It's kind of a good day today. Came out to the Airbnb, and they got it all cleaned up. They went through and kind of organized the stuff there. As we walked through, they kind of moved stuff into the bathroom, which is fine because there's really nothing we need to go and do in there right now. So they kind of just put some miscellaneous stuff in there, and then kind of just stacked things up. And if you remember the wall in one of the last episodes, this is all stuff that has to come down, but all the piles are gone. So that was a nice surprise, and even out here, I pulled up a piece of plywood, and you can see how bad the moisture is underneath there. So the other ones have to come up too, so that can dry out, and even where the bed would be, it's all taken care of. So they kind of move things around, which is fine, but at least you can get around, which is kind of really nice. So today I'm gonna get the stuff situated on this side. I got the wiring all ran in here on this little curved area. I do have to stuff some more insulation in this area over here, and then we'll put the drywall on. We'll cut that curve with the drywall, and then we'll just kind of keep working our way through here. And once I get to this end, from that outlet to around the corner, I have to run some wire, and I believe I have some wire in my truck. I don't see any wire here, and they might have threw out what I had as a spare. So we'll get that situated, and we'll see how today goes. And that's what it's going to be like. So I hope you enjoy this day of miscellaneous stuff, and then later today I gotta go look at a huge fence job. So depending on who's all out there, I can kind of give you a beforehand on what I might have to replace. Sounds like it's a pretty for sure job, because I've done a lot of work for those people in the past for him and his parents. And this is one of his parents is older. She's an older lady, so she wants her fence all replaced. It's pretty sad. You know, if you ever see a fence that has that happy face in it between posts, it doesn't look happy, but the fence is showing happy. So, but let's get started. We'll start just tinkering around here, and we'll see how the day goes. Hopefully the volume on my mic works pretty good. Trying that new stuff out, and so I think we'll just set up over here. Raise this up a little higher. Oh. And we'll just get the stuff. Now I'll just start putting stuff in there. I'll bring the insulation probably over on this side over here, so that way I can cut the notches out of it, and I'll show how I cut the curve. I did mud the top section up here. Got to do a little sanding just to smooth it out a little bit, but then I got to put another coat on up here, so that way we can create a little better, smoother curve. And then once it's sanded, it should be really nice. So, all right, let's get some insulation in. I gotta grab it. It's over here in the other part of the room, bathroom that we talked about earlier. But it's all ready to be used, which is great. Ooh. And yeah, I probably should have a mask on, but I don't have one with me today. I didn't think I was going to do this part. One thing about the paper on here, I don't like it. I rather not have any paper on there, just in the way. But we'll just have to stuff it in there, and we'll use it as it is, because that's the stuff that they have here that they got. But this stuff is loose enough that we can just stuff it in there because it's a big cavity. It's pretty deep, so we don't need to staple anything. It's supposed to get to about 70 degrees today, but it's only about 40 right now. Normally I would cut this down to squeeze it so it's not so tight in there. But there's so much insulation behind it, it's just adding more of as a helper. That's about all it is. Stuff that I tuck back here. I can take the paper off. And since I don't have any plastic anyways here, we'll just leave this stuff on. I'll inflate it behind there. So it goes a little short. Well, that'll work. So smaller ones I'll probably cut a smaller piece in there at least. This junk in here. Not a big fan of the pink insulation either. Let's take this paper off. Okay. It's a little more dusty than the brown stuff I get, but I'm going to use up their stuff. Stuff in here. So we need a little piece above there. A little bit here. Use this stuff up. More of a barrier. Looks like I need a couple pieces more. There's a I actually prefer the brown stuff. Just seems like there's a little less dust in it. And these are already pre-cut, look like. I like to wait to do this little section of drywall in here because the security wiring is behind there and I need to tape it all up again. See this one over here has been taped up. So we'll leave that one. Probably don't really need to insulate these walls because of the brick. Whatever's behind the brick, normally it's just exposed. But they do the kind of a half wall in most areas, which some areas I would kind of wish they would have gone all the way to the ceiling. However, they didn't. So this is the design they like. Now I'm just doing what they want. I'm gonna get behind that wiring. Make it a little easier to hold it in there. It's gonna be a little pinched, but that way kind of hold it in there a little better. All right, keep this out of the wet stuff. Oh, got one more piece to put here. Let's see. This one I can squeeze through here. There. Kind of work 2 for 1. Huh, good. Good. Now let's find that piece of drywall that is already cut for here. Cut a hole. I think it's right here. I think this is the one that goes here. Nope. Gotta do this one then. Is there an outlet in that little? Nope. Well, that's weird. I wonder if maybe that was the piece and they had a little extender piece in there. We're gonna go here. I gotta mark out my pencil. I'm gonna make that my edge. We got 31 3/4. Go. And 29.5. And this is sitting, it's just gonna sit on the ground where this already cut. And we gotta go up. Looks like we gotta go up. So I'll measure from up here. Yeah, 30 3/8. $34 1/4. Now, what did they do with that T-square? Assuming it's over here with all the other stuff. Yep. Been dealing with a cough over the last month. Sick for a couple weeks, and now I just got a lingering cough, which each day is a little better. Can't complain. Well, actually, I just did, didn't I? I didn't bring the hole saw in, so I'm just gonna use this. supposed to get some rain today. I thought it rained by the time I got out here, but it stayed behind me. So now we need screws. Where'd they hide those? Switch the bit and drill. Or the wrong sweatshirt today. If I put the screws in my pocket here, half of them will fall out, so I won't put so many in. Switch out the drill bit. I don't want that to fall behind the wall. So we're going to have to put a block in there. Now, my pencil. I think I lose my pencil. Just used it. And it's orange. How can I not see it? Not pocket, not my ear. Here. What the heck? Here, pencil, 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 pencil. Here, pencil, pencil, pencil. That's strange. I probably set it down right where I need it, so I wouldn't forget. It's usually how it works. It's not amongst the tools here. That is the strangest thing. I have to go down and go get another pencil. Chances are it probably fell behind here, but I don't see it under the floor. Now that's, well, maybe we're just gonna have to eyeball them. No, I don't want it too far. Could have brought my Oh, my measurement should have gone up a little bit. See? And bring it up high now. Drywall's damp. Stuff just wants to pop through it. Let's be gentle. Ooh, ooh. Oh, I can miss. Let's get a little block in here. Ooh. All right. Window, it's getting a little toasty. All right, let's bring a new piece of insulation and we'll cut this little curve here. However, I need a pencil to do that. is this? Pause this for a minute. All right. Got another one. So what I'm going to do here is end my drywall here. I leave that at my pivot. No, actually I go at the end. So what I do is I measure to the middle, the next stud, which should be 16.5, and then I mark the middle here as half of that, 8.25. So then as I go around, I mark where my 16.5 is, and then I can hold it there to the next stud, which is 29. So that's on that line. So half of that would be, let's see, we got about 11.5. So 5.5, 5.75. So 5.75 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 22.25. So then I get over to here. It's 37.5. Half that is 9.5. 38.5. My boobs. That's 29. So we got 9 inches. 4.5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 33. We'll go 34. Looks more centered. So then 38.5. 44.5. No, I don't need to notch that one because it's only about 4 inches past. So we'll go to 44.5. 58. 6.5 would be 51. 58. Another one at 63.25. We'll go 74. Have to go in the middle of that. Go out 10. Half. 16.5 at the center. We got 74. We'll go 85, 87.5. What looks in the middle? 80.5. 87.5. 103.5. No, we're past the nice 8 foot. So 87. Right here, so 96. So end up right in the half. So we'll just have to put a block. We'll put a block in the middle there. And that'll actually work out pretty good. So then when we mark it out on this other side, now I'm going to write this down because there's a lot of numbers. Little scratch piece. We got 8 1/4, 16, 16 1/2, 22 1/4, 29, 34, 38 1/2, 44 1/2, 51, 58, 63 1/4, 68 1/2, 74, 80 1/2, 87 1/2, and that's the end. So we'll put our numbers right here. And since I got the back side of the drywall facing me, it means we gotta start on the right side, because on the right side will be the left side over there. So let's move this so I can see it. Mark 8 1/4, 16 1/2, 22 1/4. Sun glaring right in my eyes. Well, bright clouds, I should say. 34, 38 1/2, 44 1/2, 1, 8, 63 1/4, 68 1/2, 4, 88 1/2, 87 1/2. Now, I set my pencil there, and now all we gotta do is score the back of this. Nice if I should be leaning on something solid here, but let's see. You could go in between each of these lines too to make the more cuts and more angle, but by the time you're done, you're going to accomplish the same thing. It might be a little more mud to create the curve a little better, but by the time you're done, it's no one's going to know the difference anyways. So it's one cheap square. Ooh. Brought mine up here. Hey, that floor smells musty. That didn't move, that moved on me. Now we'll move it over here and hopefully we can keep it in this as square as possible, so it's a little easier to carry. Nope. I need to blow the crap out of there. This way a little bit. Make sure all these are popped. All right, there. Yep. Grab the screws again. Took them out when I ran down so I didn't drop a bunch on the ground. Now, so here's the first one. And you just got to remember that every other line, there's a stud behind. I was a little off on this one for some reason. But, ouch. I just start out putting one in each spot, just so that the curve is tight. All the way along. Came out pretty good. Floor is not the straightest, apparently. There's some stayed up pretty good. Now I just go down and Follow those lines all the way down. It's got a little mildew on it, but spray this one a little bit. Oh, it's right here. Swing and miss. I don't remember where the stud is on this one. It's gotta be here. There. I think they're starting to sweat. Gotta be there, here. Ow. I know they're there. Well, right now we're okay. We'll just get this trimmed out. There'll be a drywall that sits on top of that, and then there's some little plastic angle stuff that we got to put on here. Then there's a piece of wood that goes on here with a little trim that we'll have to bend around. So a lot of this won't be seen anyways, but it's nicer when it's cleared off. I think you get the gist of what's going on today. I got to see if I got any cords or the electrical wire 14.2, because I can run the 14.2 up to I got to put a box over here, and then there's the box there. All these boxes on this side are wet, so they got to be 12.2. So we'll have to run the box there and a couple there and some hanging 14.2. Otherwise, that's basically what I'm going to do today, and then a little later we'll go look at that fence, and if it's not raining too bad, maybe I can give you an idea what the fence looks like. And yeah, well, what's going on. If I get these areas above the windows just filled in too, as long as I'm right here, close the rest of it. And I gotta pick up some more mud. So, and we'll sign you off here, and then we'll see the update next time I'm out here. I won't be out here till next week. Tomorrow I gotta go do a siding repair, kind of at the same place where the man that had the cooler, outdoor cooler that I put a roof on, that there was nobody to get a picture. He's just so talkative. So I'll probably go out there whether I get anything off of that. And then tomorrow's Wednesday. Thursday, actually I'll be back out here. We'll be back out here Thursday, then Friday I have to work on that fence that we started last week. So up until then, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again. Please subscribe and comment if you like. Set your notifications. I'm Paul, and this is Complete Home. Have a good day and a better tomorrow.